Semua. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
Ya,
Dengar suara saya
Waalaikumsalam.
tak?
Dengar.
Boleh dengar ya?
Dengar. Alright, clear. Kita tunggu presenter semua masuk dulu ya. Okay.
Hello, testing. Maaf saya tak perasan
Ya, boleh
tadi.
dengar.
Boleh dengar eh?
Boleh.
Okey, alhamdulillah. Selamat pagi semua.
Suara kami pun boleh dengar kan?
Ya, jelas, loud and clear.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Can you hear me? Clearly? Hello?
Puan Zarin tak dengar.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me clearly? All right. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. I am Siti Zairi, your chairperson for this session. Okay, first of all, I would like to welcome the presenters and attendees of this third ICSTEM conference 2021. Okay, before we begin, I would very much appreciate if all of participants and attendees to kindly put their phones on a silent mode throughout the session. Okay, thank you. All right, for everyone's attention, the presentation will take about 15 minutes, where 12 minutes is allocated for presentation and another 3 minutes for Q&A session. Okay, for Q&A, you may click the button to ask question, and the host will put you in a queue. However, those who are in the panelist list, you may directly unmute your microphone and you may ask question during the session. Okay, and 10 minutes into the presentation, I will ring the bell once. However, since we only have 7 participants today, so I will I will ring the bell at all. All right. So I give the floor to all of you. You may use it as long as you want. Okay. After 3 minutes of Q&A session, I will ring the without further without wasting our time. So let's see our greeting video from our director. Welcoming video.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. On behalf of the ICSTEM Foundation as the organizer, a warm welcome and selamat datang to all of you. Heartfelt gratitude is extended to all distinguished speakers and participants for coming and participating in this ICSTEM 2021. I sincerely hope that all of our effort in sharing and exchanging ideas throughout this conference will create and enhance public interest as well as awareness on the importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics known as STEM. It is hoped that everyone enjoy this virtual conference under the new norm, and may you have a delightful and fruitful deliberation throughout the conference with us. With that note, I wish all of you happy conferencing and thank you.
Okay, so I will call upon our first presenter for today, ODT 19 Sharifah Nurul Ain Balkis binti Sheikh Muhammad, okay, from College Matrikulasi Pahang, with the title Inquiry-Based Learning Using Google Application in Biodiversity Exploration. Okay, how are you, Puan Ain? How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, we are fine.
Okay, so you will play your recording video shortly.
Alright,
Okay,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Biodiversity is a difficult and not a favorite topic among students. Therefore, this action research is purposely to solve the problem and to make the topic become more interesting to learn. Inquiry-based learning using Google applications in biodiversity exploration is a research about creating learning module for exploring plant diversity use inquiry-based learning model which applies 5E elements assisted by Google applications. We chose to use inquiry-based learning or IBL model is because it could promote two-way communications, increase students' curiosity, and students could self-explore the subjects by asking questions and finding solutions using their creativity.
From the experience of using conventional teaching methods by lecturers, we have done Pillow Talk session to discuss our teaching methods while teaching biodiversity. Some of us bring students around college and teach in the field, some of us doing game, and some of us implement group presentation in class. We also have done some observation and interview with students about their level of knowledge about biodiversity. It was found that the main problem faced by students is difficult to distinguish the general and unique features of plant and animal species accurately. Most students also confuse to identify and classify plant and animal species according to the species classification hierarchy. This is because most students lack exposure and knowledge of the plant and animal species that exist in the nature. Their knowledge is restricted only for the plant and animal species that are commonly seen and studied in science and biology subject. There are 3 research objectives in this study, which are 80% of students are able to identify and classify species into 4 groups in Kingdom Plantae. Number 2, 80% of students were able to state the unique characteristic of each group in Kingdom Plantae. And the third, 100% of students can be used the Google application as an information retrieval tool to complete assignments.
The conceptual framework for our action research starts with the problem identification related to subtopic of Kingdom Plantae from student and lecturer perspective. In order to solve the problem, a sharing session among lecturer was conducted to review the best teaching practice for subtopic Kingdom Plantae in biodiversity topic. The best element in each idea were combined to construct plant detective module, which using inquiry-based learning and 5E model approach. In this module, various Google applications are proposed as a collaborative tool in learning the biodiversity topic. Among the literature review, Corey in 2021 highlight that inquiry-based learning is an active learning method that is beneficial for developing student inquiry skill, while Salvani et al. In 2020 said that 5E model has positive impact on student achievement and attitude towards science, in which it is effective in understanding of concept and building meaningful knowledge. In the other hands, Google in 2013 said that Google application for education is powerful cloud computing solution that work best everywhere on any device used as collaborative tool for education institution. Plant Detective module implement 5E model which include 5 phases. Engage session start with a YouTube video presentation and introduction to Plant Detective activity.
Di mana kita akan buat aktiviti kita panggil Plant Detective to investigate.
In explore session, students were divided into 4 groups. Each group have to identify plant species in the picture using Google Lens. By using Google search afterwards, students classify the plant species based on their hierarchical classification, unique characteristic, and also its importance in daily life. Finally, students recorded the finding using Google Doc and saved it in Google Drive. In explain session, each group presented their finding using Google Doc to the rest of the class.
We should consists of matrix, xylem and phloem, which facilitate water production and food transportation.
In elaborate session, students apply the skill obtained in exposition to identify several animal species using Google Lens. Finally, in evaluate session, students were required to answer formative assessment via Google Form to evaluate student understanding in Kingdom Plantae.
Our first result, according to the data obtained from the Google Docs, 100% students were able to identify scientific names for all plants in the pictures and also able to classify plants into correct groups of Kingdom Plantae. So, the first research objective is achieved. Our second result which based on the students' presentation using Google Docs, we found that 100% students were able to state unique characteristics of each group in Kingdom Plantae, and also it's important in daily life. This makes we achieve our second research objective. Third research objective is achieved based on researchers' observations where 100% students were able to apply and integrate Google applications in completing the task. We can see from the pictures that all students used Google applications in completing the task given to them. The last step in our activity using 5 E elements is evaluate. So we came out with assessments about plant diversity using Google Form. The graph shows the result of the assessment. Almost all students get more than 11 marks, which means more than 80% of the students will be able to answer the questions correctly.
The implication of this plant detective module was help us to understand the students' learning style in terms of student minds, emotion, attitudes, or physical movements. At the end of the session, students had increased their curiosity and focus about biodiversity. They are also actively participate in the activity with their friends. We also found that students can manage their time wisely and the students' level of confidence also increase. When students are exploring the different Google apps such as Google Lens to identify the organism name, Google Search to exploring more, Google Translate to translating language, Google Doc to record the data, Google Drive to keep data safely and collaborate, as well as Google Form as their tool to evaluate, students can easily implement it in the different situations in their learning environment. The exploration of knowledge will be more fun and exciting. In this digital era, it is important to educate individuals on the effective and efficient use of digital technologies. So, the plant detective module can be implementing as e-game board in mobile application. Furthermore, for not missing the feel of nature, the real specimen should be used in the plant detective module in real time.
As conclusion, we achieve all the objectives that we set, and we hope this research will provide beneficial information and can be applied in the new learning technique in 21st century.
All right, thank you so much for the very interesting sharing. Okay, so anyone who wants to ask question, you may do so. You also may write down any question on the chat box as well. Anybody? Okay, Puan Ain. Actually, from the video, the activities was carried out during face-to-face session, right? So, can it be implemented during online class as well?
Sorry, Puan Zarin, it is not very clear. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, from the video just now, okay, the activities was carried out during face-to-face session, right? In the classroom.
Yes.
So
Yes.
is it possible to be implemented during online class as well?
Yes. Oh, for the activity, okay,
Yeah.
during this pandemic session, okay, the activity have to be modified suitable to the this condition lah. Okay, in which maybe we are going to give the briefing to the student, okay, in virtual class session. And then after we are introducing the Google Lens, we are going to provide the task to the student and they can apply by using the real specimen from their surrounding at the house. But later on, maybe we cannot do in a one-time session. Okay, we will require them to fill up all the form and so on. And the next session of class, we are going to let them to present. So we have to do some alteration to the module since the student is not face-to-face. But actually, during this pandemic, okay, we can allow them to use the real specimen around their house.
Okay, great sharing, great sharing. Okay, thank you, Puan Ai. Any question on the floor? Any question? Anyone else?
Yeah, I can see from
Okay,
the
from
chat,
chat
Puan
box.
Zarifah.
Yeah, very good
Puan
research
Zarifah
helps
said it is
children.
good to introduce to our child. Okay, correct. So actually, all of us also can share with our children, our family members, since in our Google application, now we have the symbol, the camera symbol. Actually, that is Google Lens. So whenever you find something that you want to search for the information, actually we can snap the picture. Okay, not only for plant, for animal and so on, and then we can search for the information directly by using that Google Lens. So that is very interesting to introduce to our children, even though they are not in this pre-university or university session yet.
Okay, thank you very much, Puan Ai. Okay, if there's no more questions, so let's proceed. Let's call upon our second presenter, ODT 20, Puan Nik Nur Hasrina binti Nikdin from College Matrikulasi Perak with the title The Effectiveness of Teleboard as TNL for Tutorial Practice in Matriculation College. Please welcome. Nur Hasrina will play your presentation video, okay?
You. Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today our group will present about the effectiveness of using Teleboard as TNL for tutorial practice in matriculation college. I, Nur Hasrina binti Nikdin, as a presenter for Kanta Kaizen Group from College Matrikulasi Perak. Now, let me introduce 5 co-authors from Kanta Kaizen Group. Umi Atiah binti Muhammad from College Matrikulasi Perak, Khairul Aiman bin Muhammad Arifin, Nur Ainiza binti Nuruddin, Kamilia binti Alias, and Nur Hanisah binti Hamzah from SBP Integrasi Kopek. Let me introduce the main focus in our study is about Telegram plus whiteboard.5, and we simplify it as Teleboard. Actually, we are finding the effectiveness of using Telegram plus whiteboard.5 due to the Telegram itself is a better choice in place of its counterparts among users, and Telegram also is used by millions of users around the world since it's a free software. However, for whiteboard.5, students attending remotely and in person, and the students also able to solve their problems individually or collaborate with each other using the whiteboard.5, and students also will concern with their students' progress during class. There are lots of benefits that teachers and students get from Telegram, such as it has voice chat, it has scheduled posts, chat folder, direct marking, you can have a quiz board and pinned message. Okay, for voice chat, it is like a group call, okay, and students join the voice chat for attendance. And for scheduled post, every post that teachers schedule must be earlier according to the class time as planned in the lesson plan, and automatically send things at a specified time in the future. And for a chat folder, it is an effective class chat manageable for teachers and all class groups or channel. And for direct marking, no need for us to convert or install any apps, so students can directly get their marks. And for Quizbot, it can create the objective questions, and it can include pictures, videos for every questions, and can set the time limit like real quiz, and student marks and performance are directly sent to the lecturer. And besides that, we have a pinned message where to highlight important posts and pin multiple important messages in any chat, so that we not miss out all the important message, which allows owners of channel and group chats to receive feedback from subscribers, such as this picture. And besides, we have channel, okay, in Telegram, so we can have unlimited number of subscribers. We have also can share media, includes photos and so on, until 1.5 gigabyte inside each post, and we can edit the text of messages after sending them. During lesson in Whiteboard.5, we can give instant assessment to students, and students also have their own digital whiteboard where they can draw, write text, and so many things they can do. And also teacher can identify students' progress during lesson, and it also can have an instant access. Okay, this is very easy. We just give a link to students, and student can instantly joining our class. Whiteboard.5 is independent device which no need for us to install or download it, and it has versatile tools, and it's also really privacy, where everything will be deleted after the room is closed. And we can also invite co-teachers, which can see all the students and collaborate with us by using same whiteboard, and we can get feedback from comments and thumbs up icon. And we also have a live overview. We can ask questions and let the whole class answer by using the whiteboard.5. And we have maths editor, lets us to insert it by math symbols, expressions, equation, and so on. And as a teacher, we are maybe really like these push whiteboards, which we can upload an image and let our students draw it on it and make annotation or arrange items. Here are two problem statements in our study. The first is ineffective teaching and learning plan to be used in online classes. And the second is inefficient teaching and learning contact time. And our objective is to increase students' understanding during online learning sessions. And the second one, we are going to optimize teachers' time management. Let us look at our methodology. We are choosing 40 students from 2-semester program from the class M2T10 and M4T19 from College Matrikulasi Perak. For cycle 1, we are choosing Google Meet with students without any ads we used. We are focusing on teaching and learning directly with Google Meet. Alright, in cycle 2, we are using Telegram and whiteboard.5. We start with giving to our students a video in Telegram group. Students watching the video, and after that, we give assessment. Students answer this assessment. After students answer the assessment, we give a link to a students so that they can join whiteboard.5. In whiteboard.5, students can identify their students' performance during lesson, and after that, we give a quiz board to identify their understanding and how fast they can answer the question. And the last part is we interview the students and give questionnaire to the students. Here are the results for our study. Here are the impact based on students' online learning. We can see here students' achievement in summative assessment for past year question is really higher. By using Meet Classroom, data shows 75% of students answers the question correctly. However, by using Teleboard, 95% of students answer the question correctly. This shows that 20% of increment by using Teleboard. Let us look result from quiz board. We are just choosing 5 top students where they can answer lesser than 2 minutes, very fast. Because of we set for 15 minutes, but they can answer the question in lesser than 2 minutes. Here are results from whiteboard.5. From this question, students can sketch the electric field strength direction correctly, and most of them can answer very well. Here are the impact on students' online learning based on interview with the students. We have themed students' positive perceptions, and we have 3 sub-themes, which are happiness, communication, and learning variation. For cycle 1, we are using Google Meet. However, for cycle 2, we are using Teleboard. 21 students were happy using Google Meet, but 36 students were happy using Teleboard. For communication, 10 students willing to communicate during Google Meet. However, for Teleboard, 15 students like to communicate during Teleboard. Learning variation, 8 students like variation in Google Meet. However, 19 students like learning variation in Teleboard. By using questionnaire, we can see here active engagement in Google Meet just 65%. However, for Teleboard, 100% involved. However, for positive perception, for Google Meet, among students just 30 and Teleboard 84. Let us look discussion for our study. For Teleboard, there's lots of advantages for students and lecturers, such as for students, they'll have effective and manageable learning experience, and they can also have low internet usage. However, for lecturers, they can control time and teaching process, and also co-teaching between lecturers makes the learning more better. As a conclusion, the use of Teleboard can increase students' understanding for frontal online learning and can optimize teacher time management. Here are suggestions for our study to make it more better. Lecturers record the online class or give instruction via voice chat in Telegram, and we should have co-teachers in Whiteboard.5. And you want to combine classes among matriculations class, and we are going to search for another platform to integrate physics simulation into the telegrams. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Panik Nur Hasrina. So, do we have questions from the floor? Okay, Panik, actually the whiteboard 5, do actually students needs to have extra devices or tools, for example, like pens, drawing pen, to draw?
They can draw using finger.
Finger.
Not totally based on gadget that they use lah. It's like if they use types of tab.
So what if
any
they
Android,
use?
even iOS, they can still use.
Oh,
They just
so
some students use just RM2 of pen they can get from kedai RM2 for using
digital pen.
to draw. Yes.
Okay. So when
Stylus
students
pen.
are stylus pen. Okay. So
Yeah.
when students are actually using the apps, how lecturers observing them? When they're using them?
Lecturers can observe all their students because all the students answers will presented on the whiteboard.5. Means that all the students whiteboard teachers can see.
So these
So
apps
if
actually used during tutorial class?
Yes, during tutorial class can use because we can identify those students with that don't understand our lesson that day, and it's better for like me. I'm physics lecturer, so it's easier for me to find their understanding during my class, especially in concept.
Okay. So is there any limitation from using this device? I mean these apps?
These apps so far I'm using for my class around 20 students. There's I think if I want more I need to get subscribe. No, I have to buy. I have to buy the apps, but I just use free apps. So so far I'm using 20 to 25 students in my class. There's no limitation so far.
Very interesting, and I would like to try it too during my class. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Panik. So, all right. Thank you so much. Okay. So, let's proceed with our third presenter. Okay, third presenter is from College Matriculasi Perak with the title UJICO, Gamification Application for Chemical Test of Organic Compounds, and will be presented by Vaisnavi Sundarajan. Sorry, sorry, Doctor. Doctor, are you here?
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
Okay. Very clear, Doctor. Okay, so
Okay.
Doctor, we will play your recorded video
Sure.
shortly. All right. Okay, thank you.
A very good morning to the judges and juries of ICSTEM 2021. I, Dr. Vaishnavi Sundararajan from Para Matriculation College, and on behalf of my team, would like to share our innovation entitled UJICO gamification application for chemical test of organic compounds. Before I proceed further into my presentation, allow me to introduce my team of 5 from the chemistry unit at Bibliometric College. Next up will be the outline for today's presentation, starting from what's UJICO till the further development and commercialization of UJICO. To begin with, what is UJICO? UJICO is an innovation made to promote game-based learning with crossword puzzles, and it's developed online for the SK025 chemistry course at Matriculation. UJICO focuses on the learning of chemical tests for organic compounds designed using websites like crosspuzzle.com and Google Sites. It consists of 4 levels of crossword puzzle designed with increasing difficulties. UJICO applies learning through gamification that is in line with the 21st century learning methods. As we all are well aware, the Ministry of Education has launched the Malaysian Education Development Plan 2013-2025, where the 7th shift in it is to utilize ICT to improve quality of learning in Malaysia. This is also in line with the ICT Transformation Plan by the Ministry of Education 2019-2023, which outlines the goal of pioneering the use of appropriate technology and digital capabilities to drive the national agenda. Therefore, UJICO is introduced to improve traditional teaching and learning with the use of ICT. In fact, the development of UJICO is in line with the learning in the new norms of matriculation program, which commenced in year 2020 for the 2020-2021 batch. Teaching and learning is now conducted in a hybrid mode with alternating face-to-face and online classes. It is also important for me to highlight that each year, questions related to chemical tests of organic compounds will be tested in students' final examination. There are no online reference materials or exercises that feature 21st century learning for this particular subtopic, and Generation Z students show immense interest in games or any gamification application. The issues we faced prior to the development of UJICO was the lack of interactive reference and practice materials available on the internet regarding this subtopic. Practice and reinforcement questions are mainly multiple choice questions and subjective questions. This leaves a student less motivated in learning the content of chemical tests for organic compounds. From our classroom observation, we found that students find it difficult to picturize the reactions involved. Students exchange test names, reagents, and observation for chemical tests, and they tend to memorize theories without even understanding it. With that comes the objectives of UJICO, which is to provide an interactive teaching and learning tool suitable for game-based learning online, increase students' level of understanding on chemical tests for organic compounds, finally, increase students' motivation to study chemical tests for organic compounds. As for the novelty of UJICO, the team is proud to share that UJICO is the first interactive teaching and learning tool of its kind. UJICO incorporates crossword puzzles into the learning of chemical tests for organic compounds. Crossword puzzles, as we know, are language-oriented games. Yet, it agreed well with this subtopic as it is contextual, non-numerical, and requires students to remember sentence forms and names accurately. The team revolutionized memorization methods by integrating language game that not only focuses on the application of knowledge, but also spelling through UJICO. The basis for the formation of UJICO includes design thinking strategy. Design thinking includes 5 phases that needs to be taken into account to solve a problem, and this style appeared innovative to us as it is not only focusing on the problems faced by students, but also their needs. Table shows the strategies in the development of UJICO based on design thinking aspects. As you can see here, we were first able to emphasize student situation, design and ideate a solution, launch a prototype, and test drive it with 3 students and 3 lecturers before an official study was conducted. As for the authenticity of the project, it can be also justified using the SAMR model. Ujiko can be categorized at the level of modification as a puzzle is modified into a chemistry link game done using websites like crosspuzzle.com and Google Sites. Moving on, I would like to share on the practicality and usability of Ujiko. The ability of Ujiko to determine whether a student answers are correct or wrong automatically lifts Ujiko as a champion in the fourth industrial revolution for educational technologies. Having crossword puzzles with different levels of difficulty is a form of incorporating constructive learning among students as subsequent levels are built based on prior knowledge. Ujiko has a unique storyboard. Students will hold a character as a young scientist who has to complete tasks in the Ujiko lab. As to highlight the ease of using Ujiko, it is straightforward that lecturers only need to distribute website links through applications such as Google Classroom, WhatsApp, or Telegram. Google Site was actually chosen to be the platform to develop Ujiko because it can auto-adapt to the display size of students' electronic device. Plus, Ujiko does not require monitoring from lecturers and students can access it both in classroom and outside of classroom. Ujiko can be played individually and can be used as a part of enrichment or revision throughout students' self-directed learning sessions. In order to test the effectiveness of Ujiko, a preliminary study was done with 20 students online during their exam revision week. Findings from the study showed students' achievement increased from 52% during their pre-test to 89% during the post-test. This is an 37% increase after using Ujiko. Questionnaire feedbacks from students also revealed that students agreed that learning with Ujiko increased their motivation. This was supported with a mean value of 3.81. As for the impact of innovation, it can be divided into four main aspects, which are increases productivity, user satisfaction, provides real benefits, and cost effectiveness. By using Ujiko, lecturers can improve their professional skills by diversifying pedagogical methods, especially using the gamification approach. Ujiko, on the other hand, saves time to prepare interactive teaching and learning materials on this subtopic in the future because Ujiko can be used repeatedly. Ujiko also has multiple application purpose, either to be a part of the induction or the evaluation of a lesson. As for costing, Ujiko is made using a free website and at current does not require paying by both lecturers who are designing it and students who are using it. The use of Ujiko makes lecturers more creative and innovative as it adopts an innovative pedagogical strategy. By improving the mastery and creativity of lecturers to increase student understanding is in turn an advantage to the lecturer themselves as they are able to achieve their personal key performance indicators that have been set. As for the significance and relevance of Ujiko at Para-Matriculation College, it was able to diversify pedagogy in classroom, improve students' achievement in chemistry examination now and future, enhance the creativity and professionalism of lecturers implementing digital learning, as well as helping the college to achieve the vision and mission. As for the significance and relevance of Ujiko beyond KMPK, that is Para-Matriculation College, it supports the nation's national agenda, which is in line with the 7th and 10th shift in the Malaysian Education Development Plan. Ujiko is also seen to serve as a motivation tool for students to continue learning science in order to help the Ministry of Education to achieve the target of 70% of students in science and technology. Plus, Ujiko is also suitable to be publicized internationally since English is the operating language. As for the further development potential of Ujiko can be further developed and widely publicized because it is suitable to be used as a part of blended learning strategy, has an attractive and interactive game design, display, and layout. It is easy to understand and maneuver around Ujiko and has flexible playing methods according to the creativity of the lecturer. Finally, develops creative and critical thinking skills among students. What can be done to make Ujiko better? Our plans are to upgrade operation platform from Google Sites to a mobile app, to increase the number of crossword puzzles present currently, and also include contents from other subtopics in the Malaysian Matriculation Chemistry course. We also intend to extend Ujiko to all other courses at various levels of education institution. On a final note, Ujiko is easily replicated and distributed via WhatsApp and Telegram. As for commercialization, the targeted user would be pre-university students for now, as there is similarity in chemical test contents present in their syllabus too. And the distribution would be better if it was done using a form of mobile app which can be registered under MyEpo. As of today, 2 lecturers have reviewed Ujiko and sent in their feedbacks on how to add value to this innovation, and we intend to also share it with more lecturers to test it in their classroom. That's all from me today. Thank you for the opportunity. I now welcome questions from the floor.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
All right, so a very interesting sharing, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so do we have question from the floor? Ada soalan ke? Saya juga ada menjemput guru-guru daripada sekolah. Jadi sebagai attendee. Jadi cikgu kalau ada soalan boleh ajukan. Senyap saja room kita hari ni. Asyik saya je nak tanya soalan. Okay, Doctor. Actually, this gamification only cover chemical tests of organic compound only, ya, Doctor?
Yes, as of now, because this is our first prototype and we have only covered for chemical test of organic compounds, because based on our observation, classroom observation, we found that that's the subtopic that requires help, because there are no online reference materials also which are more interactive. It's more on rote learning. So as of now, what students do is just read their lecture notes, memorize, and try to remember that for exam and apply it. So that is very monotonous, it's boring, and students tend to just avoid it sometimes. And it is actually very bad for them, because questions regarding chemical tests comes in every year for their final exam, so they tend to miss out marks on that. That's what we have been noticing from the students' performance. So this was our first initiative to actually help them, to motivate them to do more, to learn better for this subtopic.
Okay, why actually you choose this subtopic? Why organic chemical tests?
As I was saying, this subtopic, there is no online reference materials which are more interactive. It's more on just reading and remembering, memorizing, and regurgitating out. So, and this subtopic is more contextual. There is no calculation for this subtopic. It's just theories and theories, observations, and names of scientists who have introduced this chemical test. For example, Bayes test, for instance. So students have to also remember the exact scientist's name with the correct spelling in order to answer for their exam. Therefore, if anything goes wrong, if their memorization, they tend to miss out anything, so they are penalized. Therefore, we needed some other form of language oriented approach to help these students in order to achieve the objectives for the subtopic.
So, what if other lecturers from other matriculation wants to use the gamification? So,
Sorry that the line got lagged in the middle. Can I have the question
Oh,
repeated,
okay.
please? Thank you.
So here we have other lecturers from other matriculation.
Correct.
So what if they want to use the gamification? What
They
they
are
need to do?
they just have to share this link that because
Mhm.
at current our operating platform is Google Sites, so it's a website. So in order to share a website, all we have to do is copy the URL and share it with students through either WhatsApp or Telegram. And for at current, we feel that it is a very basic way to share something with students. So we are in the process of changing it into a mobile app. So anyone around the globe, not only Malaysia, anyone who studies chemistry and anyone who takes pre-U level, O level or A level chemistry can download the app if they find it interesting and start using it. So so only thing that we are going to we are in process of changing is the operating platform, but the contents of it will be the same. We are still going to use crossword puzzles to attract students to keep answering and keep practicing their knowledge.
Okay. Okay, let's check the chat box. Okay, we got
I see a question from
okay.
Puan Fazila from the chat box.
Oh yeah. Is the concept still students need to memorize in order to answer the crossword puzzle?
Okay, because I'm not, I'm unable to show the interface of Ujiko. So how it goes is that the Ujiko, because it's Google Sites, we have got multiple tabs on the Google Sites. So there is practice beforehand they do the crossword puzzle. So there is pictures, there's videos incorporated inside so that they are able to not only read, but also get some visual inputs and audio inputs because this Ujiko is mainly focused for online learning. And if we are doing a face-to-face session, students can always do an experiment. We can always do an experiment with a friend and in the lab, and we can help them realize what's happening better. But as of everything is online, so what do we do is that before they even go into answering the crossword puzzles, there are videos to help them know what is happening. There are audio talks, podcasts from us which are attached in front. So it is as I presented also, there is a storyboard. So there is a flow of things that students need to do, okay, before they go even to answering crossword puzzles, which was built based on lower level. Okay, the first part of it, they have to just remember and answer it. So the second stage of it, they actually apply and analysis things before they can answer the crossword puzzles. And finally, they also look into chemical reactions and try to relate it and answer the crossword puzzle. So for example, I can give you an example. So one of the key, whenever we do crossword puzzle, there will be something that that is going menegak and melintang, right? So for that part, we will usually give a chemical equation. So if a student doesn't understand the chemical equation, they wouldn't be able to fill up the crossword puzzle. Or if they don't remember, okay? So remembering, yes, it's the basic. So remembering on top of that, we built it for applying and also evaluating.
Okay.
So thank you for your question, Puan
Thank you.
Fazila. I
Yeah,
hope I answered.
one
Was
more
it clear?
question. So your treatment is crossword or the other materials before answering the puzzle?
Treatment for
Crossword.
Okay.
Crossword or the other materials before answering the puzzle?
Okay, crossword is a form of attraction, a motivation for the students to keep learning this subtopic, because previously it was just reading and remembering. So when we bring them to crossword, it is more on applying it in another way as well as learning from it, because if you miss a word in a crossword puzzle, you will be wrong. and Ujiko is designed such that it auto-corrects. So there is no lecturers needed to actually mark this thing. So it is auto-correct. The platform works such way that it is auto-corrected. So students can keep trying and trying and trying. So we motivate them to keep trying instead of just reading it. Okay, I can understand this, I can answer it and move on. Instead of going through that process, we motivate students to keep doing and doing until they get the correct answer. So this is a form of learning as well.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Very
Welcome.
good sharing. Yeah, very interesting. All right. So, do we have any more questions from participants? Boleh tanya dalam bahasa Melayu juga. Ada masalah? Tak ada ya? Alright, thank you so much, Doctor. So,
Welcome.
alright. So let's call upon our next presenter, Puan Haslinah binti Abdullah, okay, from IPG campus. Oh, sorry. I dah skip satu. Okay, sorry. Our next presenter is Puan Zalifah Mansor. Puan Zalifah Mansor from Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Melaka, okay, with the title Bibliometric Analysis of Technology Acceptance Among Teachers Using Scopus Database. So, hi, Puan Zalifah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Puan Zalifah, do you mind sharing your presentation slide?
I will share my recording presentation slide for myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. First of all, thank you to the organizer the ICSTEM for the third event. I will introduce myself. I am Zarifah binti Mansur. Now I am a student from University Kebangsaan of Malaysia, and before this I am working at Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Melaka. So, organizer, I will share my recording presentation now. Can you see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, I will.
It's starting to share,
all
but
right.
we cannot see the content. Yeah.
Oh,
Can
okay.
see the
I will start now. Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to everyone. Thank you to the organizer. I am Zarifah binti Mansur. Today I want to present my paper about bibliometric analysis on technology acceptance among teachers using Scopus database. Table of content. Number 1, introduction. Number 2, objective. Number 3, methods. Number 4, results. And number 5, conclusion. For the introduction, bibliometric. The bibliometric analysis is a widely used research method for detecting the state of the art of a particular field. This method is capable to utilizing quantitative analysis and statistics to describe patterns of publication within a given period of body of literature. Bibliometric analysis focuses on the statistical analysis of publication. It is a frequently used systematic method to classify the information with various variables such as institutions, journals, countries, and others. This paper, a general overview of the research on technology acceptance among teachers using the bibliometric indicator. The essential features of bibliometric is that these indicators come with a broad picture of technology acceptance among teachers. This paper divided into crucial analysis section that focuses on relevant journal, research papers, authors, institutions, and countries that have contributed to technology acceptance among teachers. The bibliometric research conducted through the scope database. The objective of this paper is to be informative with the topic, and the indicators summarize the essential research in this method. Number 1, scoping by title, abstract, and keywords. Number 2, excluded by the year of publication, language, and source of type. Number 3, analyzing the scopus data to make statistical analysis. Number 4, viewer to visualize the connecting each research to know the global trend about each topic. Below is the searching string for this paper. Next, the results. As a result, analysis is performed by two different ways: statistical analysis of database and number 2, network analysis. Number 1, statistical analysis. The bibliometric statistical can analyze number 1, document per year, number 2, document per year by source, number 3, document by author, number 4, document by affiliation, number 5, documents by territory, number 6, document by type, and number 7, document by subject area. Next, network analysis. Number 1, co-authorship, which are authors, organizations, and country. Number 2, co-occurrence for all keywords, author keywords, and index keywords. Number 3, citation analysis, which are sources, authors, organizations, and country. Number 4, bibliometric coupling, which is documents and
Hello, the line is lagging now.
Hello,
Hello, can you hear me?
hello.
Hello.
It's okay for Zalifah, take your time.
The
The
computer
computer
laggy.
lagging.
I
I
use
use
another
another
device
device.
and I
I
try to
to
set
set
it
it
up
up
again.
again.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay, sure.
No, can you see my presentation slide? You know?
Network analysis. Number one, co-authorship, which are authors, organizations, and country. Number two, co-occurrence for all keywords, author keywords, and index keywords. Number three, citation analysis, which are sources, authors, organizations, and country. Number four, bibliometric coupling, which is documents and authors. The bibliometric analysis study is a mechanistic approach to use the global research trends in a specific area based on the outputs of the academic literature database. This kind of approach distinguishes a bibliometric analysis paper from a review paper which primarily intended to discuss the latest progress, challenges, and future directions of a certain topic. This study has provided an overview of technology acceptance research trends based on 1,611 publications retrieved from Scopus database. Publication growth has been rapidly since last 2 decades ago, and it is anticipated to continue to rise. We have discovered countries, academic institutions such as Taiwan and Hong Kong that have a massive number of publications and strong international collaboration. This can be opportunity for researchers from other countries such as USA or Malaysia to broaden their research collaboration. This is the analysis by bibliometric analysis. Number one, document per year. The analysis shows that the number of publications over a few decades will go rapidly increasing. Number two, document per sources. Here, the document sources which lead publish the paper is from Computer and Education with 29 documents, Computers in Behavior, 47 documents, Education and Information, 41 documents, Interactive Learning Environment, 29 documents, and Educational Technology and Society. Number three, document per author. The leading author for this paper about technology acceptance is from TOT with 22 documents, followed by Huang GJ 11 documents and others. Number four, by document by affiliation. The most top universities that publish the paper about technology acceptance is from National Taiwan Normal University with 25 documents, National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, 25 documents, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, 23 documents, and one of Malaysian University in ranking number 4, which published the paper about technology acceptance came from University Malaya, followed by University Technology Malaysia, and others, Nanyang Technology Malaysia, National Center University, the Educational University of Hong Kong, National Ching Kung University, Foreign University. Number 5, document by countries or territory. The leading countries that publish the research about technology acceptance came from the United States, followed by Taiwan and others. Number 7, document by subject area. From this bibliometric analysis, there are several subject areas found, such as social sciences, 38.7%, computer science, 21.4%, engineering, 7.7%, and others that shown in the diagram. This is the most viewer analysis from the bibliometric search. The most viewer Bibliometric analysis shows that the United States is the most co-authorship countries that publish the paper about technology acceptance, followed by United Kingdom, Turkey, Malaysia, and other countries. Keywords visualization analysis. The keywords analysis shows there are 6 clusters shown from the both viewer analysis, which are cluster 1, students, cluster 2, technology acceptance model, cluster 3, higher education, cluster 4, learning, cluster 5, teaching, and cluster 6, mobile learning. This is the keyword density when we use the visualization analysis. Next, this is the keywords overlay visualization analysis. The overlay visualization analysis shows that student, technology acceptance, human, article, learning, and humans are the most highlighted in this overlay visualization analysis. Finally, in conclusion, the bibliometric analysis revealed the link among the co-authors, co-citation authors, and partnering institutions working in technology acceptance among science teacher research fields. With that, I end my presentation and thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Zalifa. So, any question from the floor?
Could you please help me to stop my presentation? My button is missing.
We are so sorry, Puan Zalifa, but you need to stop sharing. You yourself need to stop sharing. We cannot control that. Sorry.
All right, I tried to find the button because after presentation my slide becomes smaller. Okay, I found it. Stop sharing. There is a button, share content, share web browser, share my event, stop sharing. All right. Okay, very sorry to the to the organizer.
It's okay, it's okay. So any question? You can write any question on the chat box as well. Okay, so Puan Zalifa, so this analysis is only for teachers only, among teachers. Why teachers?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, bibliometric analysis of technology acceptance among teachers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why you choose among teachers only?
First, I am interested to make a research about how teachers handle the technologies, and I also very interested to know either the teachers are really ready or accept, or we say it as they are accept the technology that they are used. Is that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if we let's check the chat box. Okay, so question from the chat box. Okay, so and we proceed to the next presenter.
Thank you, organizer.
Okay, thank you so much, Puan Zalifa. Okay, our next presenter is Puan Haslina from IPG Campus Pendidikan Teknik with the Title: Social Scientific Issues as a Vehicle to Promote Moral and Ethical Reasoning Skills. Okay, Puan Haslina, we will play your recording video.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Madam Haslina binti Abdullah and my friend Dr. Hariah binti Munib. We are from IPG Campus Pendidikan Teknik. Today we like to share regarding about socio-scientific issues as a vehicles to promote moral and ethical reasoning skill. Socio-scientific issues are controversial issues, social issues which relate to science. They are ill-structured, open-ended problems which have multiple solutions. Socio-scientific issues-based learning is an active approach to learning, placing science content within a social context in a way that supplies both motivation and the ownership of learning to the student. Awareness of integrating moral in science had grown a decade ago and was introduced by a science curriculum to curriculum transformation in Malaysia. The aim of Malaysia's curriculum transformation is to develop science epistemology, which combine an appreciation through science, social context, including moral reasoning and ethical skill. Values in education has emerged to be prime focus in writing a school's curriculum in some common ground. This is enable students to integrate ideas about social scientific issues with the values of faith, morals, and their ethics. To fulfill this aim, students can integrate ideas about social scientific issues and their own values, beliefs, and ethics. Therefore, educators need to understand how the student naturally confronts these issues with their moral reasoning in solving the problem individually. For this study, instruction was developed through the socio-scientific issues-based learning SSIDL modules that include dilemmas as stimulus and based on ethical framework by Reyes 2008. The nature of socio-scientific issues is usually controversial and characterized by dilemmas and arguments from various perspectives, in terms of problem solving and critical thinking, and also they are usually inextricably linked with morality and ethics in reasoning and argumentation. There are 6 elements in this framework of Rights 2008, which are rights and responsibilities. The second, consequentialism in the form of utilitarianism, beneficial of harmful effect. And the third one, autonomy, recognition of the individual's right to make choice freely, benefits, emphasize both motives and character is the fourth one. And the fifth one, in addition, research combine ethics from the various religions. And the last one, to explore the possible relationship between faith and belief when integrating moral and ethical reasoning. So for this problem statement for this research is science education has been described as a moral freedom, and at the same time people need to raise morality in facing everyday problem. Such situations occur because scientific contents are presented in static way, which make trainee teachers focus more on scientific facts and theories. Objective on moral values have been set in advance and must be implemented during teaching. Such teaching method would limit the depth of the discussion of moral values, and indirect acquisition of moral values did not occur. For the research objective, to study the effect of SSIDL on trainee teachers' moral and ethical reasoning ability in the genetic engineering issues, and as for research question, how SSIDL affect the trainee teachers' moral and ethical reasoning ability in the genetic engineering issues. And for the methodology, the sample consists of 38 trainees among the Bachelor in Science Teaching Education Institute in the southern zone of Malaysia. And this is a qualitative research which students attend 2 periods of lesson per week lasting 30 minutes each and for 5 weeks program. focus on the genetically modified food, cloning and genetic screening, and the lesson were in a form of lecture with PowerPoint presentation, group discussion and oral argumentation using SSIBL module. Review exercise as well as activity involves case study and media articles. Training teacher also completed pre and post oral and written arguments as well as summative assessment. The qualitative data is collected from observation during small group discussion and pre-post oral and written arguments. Observation are recorded using digital video recorder, and review of contents during oral arguments can be referred to the written argument documents produced by trainee teachers. And this is the topic for the social issues regarding the genetic selection, genetically modified plants and cloning technology. Research finding for this qualitative data shows that during oral arguments, teacher training gave a clear response and each of them used at least one of the 4 ethical framework during the post compared to pre-discussion oral and written arguments. From this table 1, sample of training teacher response demonstrating the argument which falls under the category of each ethical framework during post-oral argument. So in terms of rights and duties from the cloning, they are agree that cloning is able to fulfill humans' need to have children, but most of them disagree. The reason of sexual intercourse is only for fun and not to produce offspring. And in the theme of maximizing the amount of good in the world, in terms of genetic screening, there some disagree, and others also reduce the risk of pregnant women dying from a complication, means that they are agreed. So from the genetically modified food, GMF is profitable for farmers because of the reduced use of pesticide. So for the team making decision for yourself, in terms of genetic screening, the children training disagree, avoid the children being bullied, teased and discriminated by society. And for the last team leading a virtuous life, for the cloning, agree because from the accepting 50% DNA from unknown may have forced to be the mother to the child product of unknown DNA combination. And for the last sub-team, for genetically modified food, they are agree because GMF is able to accommodate the food needs for the society. And from the table 2 shows that teams emerge against God creating orders, inheritance determining issues, playing God, displacing God, man-made in God's image, status of embryo, uniqueness of God's creation, praying and punishment in the hereafter. So from this table 2, we can see the response of the student. Some of them, they are agree in a certain theme. For example, inheritance determining issue, some are disagree because Islam looks seriously upon the confusion of heredity determines issue. And playing a God, also the student use technology is a wrong way in playing a God. A few examples from the student, and the finding from table 3 shows that the arguments responses on the 3 scenarios characteristic by more than one reason. Then we can see the response from the student in table 3. For example, for this cloning technology, they are from the pre-response, they are disagree, and also from the post-response, they are still disagree. So in terms of genetic screening, from the pre-post, they are disagree with the termination of embryos by parents, lesion, and other children in family could be affected. And then after the post-response, they are still disagree because the termination of embryos of parents, lesion, baby has to choose in the matter. So, and then for the last finding from the table 4 shows that sample comparison of pre and post writing arguments responses on the 3 scenario. So from this table 4, you can see that the response from the teacher trainee in terms of the issue of cloning technology, from the pre-post, agree, no respond. So, but then after the post response, they are still not agree with the human cloning, and also from this genetically modified food, from the pre-post they agree, but then from the post response not agree. The technology is still new enough that there is much we do not know about the effect of GM crops for the genetic screening. First, they are not sure, and after that, they agree because the cloning allows the infertile parents have their own children. And some also, first they are not agree, and after that they agree, it will reduce the risk of genetic disease. So from the findings through this study, SSIBL provides the basis to align the views and providing training teachers some basic moral reasoning to make decisions on social scientific issues. Guidance from the ethical framework shows the trainee used it as a starting point to develop competent arguments and reasoning have during the discussion of social scientific issues. And this study supported by Eka et al., who suggested that educators need to have more space and appreciate the values of students. So, and then also this study suggests that SSIBL can be an effective way to explore issues of social scientific in science education. The implementation of SSIBL as a pedagogical tool to address some concern from the contemporary science education in order to develop moral and ethics reasoning was proven to be successful. So through this study, the researcher also able to include the religious perspective within the existing ethic framework developed by Rice 2008, merging the values of faith and confidence based on their respective religion, confirmed previous study by Johnson 2014 and also Yap 2014, and there is a possibility with the concept other than justice and equality can be the keys in determining someone's perspective on social scientific issue through their moral reasoning. So for the conclusion, the present research indicated that there is a wider range of problem-solving strategies in making moral judgments in addition to the reasoning processes described by cognitive development psychologists and educators. Merging the values of faith and confidence based on the respective religions confirmed previous study by Johnston and Young, and there is a possibility which the concept other than justice and equality can be the keys in determining someone's perspective on social scientific issues through their moral reasoning. So for that, thank you for the
Okay, thank you, Puan Haslina. Okay, Q&A session. Any question from the floor? Participants, you may ask. You may write down on the chat box as well. So before that, I would like to remind you to fill out the link in the chat box. We have evaluation form link, okay, attendance link. That one is for all participants, the presenter and also the attendees. So it's compulsory to fill out the attendance form. Question? Ada soalan tak? Okay, so if no question, we will have a short break and we'll continue with another two presenters. And participants may enter the link group again at 11:15 AM. 11:15 boleh masuk balikan link ini. Kita akan ada short break. Alright, itu sahaja. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. On behalf of the ICSTEM Foundation as the organizer, a warm welcome and selamat datang to all of you. Heartfelt gratitude is extended to all distinguished speakers and participants for coming and participating in this ICSTEM 2021. I sincerely hope that all of our effort in sharing and exchanging ideas throughout this conference would create and enhance public interest as well as awareness on the importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics known as STEM. It is hoped that everyone enjoy this virtual conference under the new norm, and may you have a delightful and fruitful deliberation throughout the conference with us. With that note, I wish all of you happy conferencing and thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. So welcome back. And now shall we proceed with our next presenter, Mr. Sazwarani bin Hanafia from College Matrikulasi Kelantan with the title A Review on the Use of Google Classroom Application in Teaching and Learning Management amongst lecturers of Kelantan Matriculation College. So please, we will play the video. So, Mr. Sazwarani, are you here? Mr. Sazwarani, are you here? Can you hear me? Encik Sazwarani boleh dengar ke? Mungkin boleh respon dekat chat box kalau tak boleh buka mic. Okay, now can you hear me, Mr. Sazwarani? Okay, I will play your video now.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. I'm Sazwarani bin Hanafia, represent our group which is consists of Mr. Kamar Zaman bin Yusuf and Madam Safriyan Wahaldini binti Safriyadi, and we are from Unit Science Computer, College Matrikulasi Kelantan. Thank you to Yari, para juri and viewers for taking a time with us to listen to our explanations. And our topic is a review on the use of Google Classroom and application in teaching and learning management amongst the lecturers of Kelantan Matriculation College. Our research is based on following problem statement. Following the close down of educational institutions, including Kelantan Matriculation College, imposed due to the COVID-19, teaching and learning is implemented online, rise up issues on engagement rate, focus, interaction and communications, management of teaching and learning material, and the last one is time management. Research objective. The objective is to examine perception on use of Google Classroom in teaching and learning. There are two aspects that we study. Number one, to identify the level of implementation of lecturers on the use of Google Classroom in PDP management among the KMKT lecturers. And the second one is to identify the level of readiness of lecturers on the use of Google Classroom in the PDP management. Our research question is focusing on the perceptions on the use of Google Classroom in teaching and learning management PDP from the implementation readiness level of the lecturers in Kelantan Matriculation College. In our research methodology, the study design is quantitative survey. Research instrument, we use a 5 Likert scale questionnaire items. Sample we selected through simple random sampling. Data quoted using Google Form. And the final one is data was analysis using descriptive statistic and inference. Following is research finding or result from our research. Independent variables, which is the use of Google Classroom in PDP management. For the dependent variable lecture perceptions, the score for mean aspect of implementation, the score mean is 3.69. Score for mean aspect of willingness is 4.28. Overall mean is 3.9. Interpretations, highest range is between 3.68 to 5.00. Finally, conclusions. From our research, we have found that KMKT lecturers are prepared and have at least basic knowledge skills to use Google Classroom in PDP sessions. Number two, there are lecturers who have used Google Classroom very well in their PDP managements. Number three, the use of the Google Classroom application is still less than optimal and use only basic functions. Number four, courses and workshops to improve lecturer skill in the use of Google Classrooms. And the last one, in the current situation, skill in using the Google Classroom application or any suitable applications are essential. I would like to say thank you to all the involved in our research. Thank you also to our ICSTEM 2021 Steering Committee and also to you too. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask and we are ready to answer. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sazorani. So, open question from the floor. Ada soalan tak? Okay, Mr. Sazorani. May I know, is there any feedback from lecturers regarding the usage of the Google Classroom? Encik Sazorani boleh dengar ke? Okay, mungkin line problem. And or maybe technical error from Mr. Sazorani's side. So it's okay. So let's proceed to our last presenter for today's session, which is Puan Nuriswin binti Jumadi from College Community Jelebu with the title and effectiveness of Parabas in improving students' comprehension. Okay, Puan Nuriswin, are you here? Puan Nuriswin, can you hear me? Okay, we will play the recording video from Puan Nuriswin.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all the panels and participant ICSTEM 2021. My name is Nuriswin binti Jumadi from College Community Jelebu, and today I would like to present about Terabas effectiveness in improving student comprehension. Okay, this presentation is present about my innovation used during teaching and learning session, and the name given for my innovation is Terabas. And this is the idea. This is an idea by my friends and I. Alright, in building construction course at College Community, land surveying subject is a compulsory subject for students to complete their study. Okay, and land surveying was divided into two subjects, which is leveling and traverse. And both of the subject consist 70% of practical and 30% of theory. In traverse, students have to do temporary adjustment by using total station. For your information, I teach this subject since 2017, and from my observation, students have difficulty to understand when I teach theoretically in class. Even though during demonstration, not even 50% of students can really understand to do the temporary adjustment. Then, after the interview for few students, we get an idea to illustrate all the steps and transform it to flashcard. Okay, actually, what is a temporary adjustment? Okay, in this practical, students have to make sure two things at the center place, right, during temporary adjustment. The first one is the picket. Okay, the picket here must be at the center of the stadia in the microscope, and it must be very clear like this picture. And the second one is the air bubble must be at the center in the inner circle at the total station, like this picture also. Okay. Okay, our objective is to determine the effectiveness of Terabas flashcard in improving student with comprehension. Okay, it is about to study how Terabas can help students to understand and deliver it during practical. And our target group is Certificate of Construction Technology student, semester 2 intake June 2020, and it is the 30 students. Okay, this is the methodology of the study. The first one is we identify issue that arise during teaching and learning session. Okay, and then we go for observation and interviewing few students, and we just want to know why they cannot understand for a temporary adjustment. And then from the data, we build the flashcard, and then we go for pre-test and post-test, and the questionnaire we distribute by using Google Form, and then we analyze the data. Okay, this is our product for Terabas. Okay, and the 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4 card here is just an introduction for the Terabas. What is the Terabas and what is the name of the component of the total station and tripod. And the 5th card and to the last card is the step for to do the temporary adjustment. Okay, this is the application for Terabas. Okay, this one shown that the student doing practical helped by Trabes. During this practical, each group will bring one set of Trabes because each group have their own area. Okay, this is questionnaire that we distribute to the student. We put this questionnaire in the Google form and we use the link and pass to the student, and then student will answer the question here. Okay, we use 5-point Likert scale, and actually this one is a rubric for temporary adjustment, and but in number 6 here is tempoh mendiri siap alat, which is it give here 5 minutes only. Okay, this is time taken to complete temporary adjustment practical. Okay, this is the data analysis. We use score min from adapted from Ridwan 2012. Okay, this is the left hand side is pre-test and the right hand side is post-test. Pre-test is about using teaching and learning using conventional way, and the post-test is using Trabes flashcard. Okay, the score mean for pre-test shown 2.22, which is the mean interpretation is low, but the post-test the analysis shown it is 3.56, which is mean the high mean interpretation. Okay, the average time to complete temporary adjustment for pre-test or with conventional way, the mean is the average time to complete the adjustment is 7.2 minutes, and for post-test is 4.6 minutes, which is this one is less than 5 minutes. Okay, for the conclusion, actually Trabes can help students to understand temporary adjustment practical and can deliver it during the practical. And then the Trabes can help students to save time during project. Okay, this is testimony from our student. Okay, this is Instagram. Actually, this is an Instagram story from my student, and she said that she's so lucky because she used to total station while in the college, and she now can teach her friends to do the temporary adjustment. Okay, and okay, this is innovation competition, and Trabes get a silver medal at SPPIP 2019. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Nuriswin. So I open question. Participants on the floor.
I cannot to turn on my video. Maybe I got problem here.
You cannot open your camera. Okay,
Yes,
just
yes.
click the video option and
Okay.
turn on your camera. Yes. Now we can see you.
Okay.
Okay, so any question from the floor? So, for Nuriswin, the Tarabas is actually a flashcard
Yeah, it's a flashcard. This is the introduction of the drivers, the component of um, the component of the total station, theodolite, and tripod, and then the steps, how to do the temporary adjustment.
Oh, meaning before if we don't create this, before we have this flashcard, students need to observe the instrument manually.
Yeah, before flashcard, I teach student in a conventional way. I use notes to teach to teach student. For this pandemic COVID-19, it's really hard to teach student via online. And then I try to use Terabest and some demonstration video, and I can say that student can repeat it again and how to do it, and they remember how to do the temporary adjustment.
Meaning the
Because the temporary because the temporary adjustment. Pardon?
Meaning students need to play the flashcard manually, or it's in the apps. We can download it in app, or they have to play it manually.
No, it just it's a physical flashcard.
Oh.
It's a physical flashcard, and I give each group one set of flashcard, and then they will go to their area, and then they will use the flashcard to do the temporary adjustment. Okay, a temporary adjustment is very important before we go for traverse surveying, because if the temporary adjustment is failed, and then the whole survey will fail too.
Oh, I see. So it's very important part lah, important syllabus for practical part.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So ada soalan? Any question from the floor? Okay, thank you so much for Nuriswin. Okay, so we go back to Mr. Sazwarani.
Thank you.
Mr. Sazwarani, can you hear me?
Hello, Cik Sazwarani. Sila respon di chat box ya kalau ada apa-apa, kalau masih lagi tak dengar.
Okay, again a technical error from this side. Okay, thank you all for the for today and informative presentation. So hopefully all the sharing done today will be useful in your teaching later. So I believe many good experience have been shared and good lessons learned today. So with that note, again, I thank you all, and gonna have a photo session. So please turn on your cameras, participants. No participant, boleh tolong buka kamera tak? Kita nak buat sesi bergambar.
Puan Nuriswin tadi boleh buka semula kamera. Okay.
Alah, ambil ke?
Sila on camera ya, attendees dan juga peserta. Alah.
Kita akan mula ambil gambar. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ada. Okay.
Ada lagi yang nak buka sini?
Okay, ready ya semua? Okay, ada lagi. Ada lagi, kita tunggu lagi sekejap. Lagi. Puan Nuriswin tadi. Okay. Okay, kita mula. Saya akan mula ambil gambar ya dalam kiraan 3, 2, 1. Okay, lagi sekali. Okay, kita tunggu. Okay, boleh senyum ya dalam kiraan 3, standby. 3, 2, 1. Sekejap, mula semula. 3, 2, 1. Okay, dah siap dah.
Okay, so that's all for today for our session, and I would like to remind everyone to join the closing ceremony this evening. I will send the link to our group, and during the ceremony, we will also announce the best presenter for our room, for every room actually. Okay, and each session, for each session. So that's all. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Puan Zairin, sorry to ask question. Yang tadi untuk set penutup tu, best presenter tu untuk poster ke atau setiap slot ni akan ada best presenter juga?
Ni untuk presenter. Best poster pun ada, best presenter pun ada.
Untuk kita punya sesi-sesi macam ni pun ada?
Setiap sesi ada.
Oh, pukul berapa? Oh, ingatkan tak ada. Okey, pukul berapa dia punya penutup tu?
Sekejap ya.
Oh, nanti bagi dekat dalam grup pun tak apa?
Ya, saya akan bagi link dekat grup nanti untuk
Thank you very much.
ceremony. Okay. Wassalam.